Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Ancient Legends Challenge. In the last episode, we cracked open our second glacier on the island, where we met the lovely JessiMew and her giant hammertail. That means that we have 2 out of 6 of the prehistoric genes that we're looking for, and I'm sure it won't take very long for little JessiMew to find a suitable partner, so we can spread that genetic all across the island, just like our digging trunk. We're actually getting ready to send our creatures to the very top of the mountain, where they're hopefully going to meet up and exchange stories. And it's right underneath the shadow of the bluebird too. I just noticed that. Do you think our tribes are using that as some sort of sign? Almost like in Adam's Quest, maybe? The bluebird is calling them up to the mountains to start their very first meeting. I'd imagine most of our leaders are probably thinking of all of the food that the bluebirds must be hoarding. They do like to hover around where they know that food is going to be readily available, so maybe that means there's even more bunny guides for us to find up there too. I do absolutely love that we had so many bunnies down here by the glacier. It makes me think that the bunnies were leading Birch here all along. He was always meant to meet JessiMew. It was written into his fate, and now that she has joined our tribe, it would be the perfect time for them to lead her up to the mountains too. They know that anybody with one of those special genes is going to be celebrated. So as our leaders stay behind to take care of some of their youngest, and to have more babies too, of course. This is the best time for our families to grow, before it starts to snow again. So Sydney and Birch can use this time to send off their 2 eldest children. We'll have Storm Sky and Melodine ascend the mountain first, leading JessiMew right in their shadow. Maybe Melodine could scoot up here to not only sniff around, see if there's any more resources for us to scoop up along the way, but she can guide Fennecchew and to Duke over to the coasts of winter too. Fennecchew must be so happy to finally get the chance to return to her family. This is what she's been dreaming of since the snow blocked her path, and since she met to Duke too, of course. She knows that he's going to fit in very, very well here, much better than he did at his old home at least. Now, Melodine has smelled plenty of roots up these cliffs, but unfortunately her family is not very good at digging, so it might be time for us to return to our summer court and see if maybe Ace's family would have better luck. Unfortunately, the newest little digging chunked baby is a bit too young to be their ambassador, but Reezy, on the other hand, even though she isn't showing any signs of digging herself, might be just the adventurous soul for the job. She is also quite young, but I think Ace is going to encourage her to show her stuff. Maybe meeting other creatures up on the highest peaks will give her more experience. Maybe she'll even meet some new friends along the way. So we'll have him guide her safely up the lower peaks, as she waves goodbye to her mother and her sister, and hopefully to her babysitter too. Unfortunately, I don't see that lovely walrus deer poking his head out of the tall grass anymore. He must be splashing around in the ocean again. He did seem to enjoy that from before. I noticed that one of the most popular comments regarding his name was Big Don the Walrus Deer. So I guess Big Don is going to be our summer court's new babysitter, assuming that he does return to our side at least. Hopefully he hasn't gotten himself in any trouble out there. I mean, the balanced bear is still somewhere in this darkness, which is super, super worrying. That's the only reason why I don't like separating our youngest children. But maybe these two can find a way to connect, a way to keep each other safe. So let's bring Ace back down to his mate's side. That way they should be able to have another baby too. And I suppose if the summer sticks around for a bit longer, once Nina starts growing her 2nd and 3rd gems, she might be able to toddle off after Reezy as well. I guess Reezy will have to mark off those places where she knows there are delicious roots. She can use her big nose to track them down and make sure that her sister gathers them up once she's grown. Now over here, things are definitely looking a bit more chaotic. Oh my goodness, we have bunnies absolutely everywhere, Jill. You're going to have to stay behind just to take care of this infestation. I think that Daria is probably going to stay with her too. Not only to pick up the acorns, slap the bunnies away from her berries as well, but because her siblings are a bit more adventurous than she is. Topaz and Butterbee are very well known for sneaking off for adventures, so this seems like it would be right up their alley. We'll have Topaz just help his mother with one of these bunnies, I suppose, and then Butterbee should be able to carve the pathway ahead of him, and maybe dig up some tasty roots along the way. Did you hear that? It sounded like somebody just submerged themselves in the water. Maybe that was one of the bunnies jumping inside the hot springs. I noticed that when different creatures jump in there, the water sound still plays, but it's very confusing when our creatures are nowhere near them. It could have been Big Don too, I suppose, wherever he is. Is he maybe making his grand return? Oh, he is gazing out over the ocean. That is adorable. I wonder if he's just getting ready to watch the sunset maybe, as we skip the day. Or if he's hoping to get a little bit more swimming time in with all of his new baby friends. That would be quite the sight if Big Don was the one to teach her babies how to swim. But let's have Sydney settle down over here, just to light up a bit more of this area, so we know that Scotia will be safe. And then we should be ready to skip the turn. So hopefully it's not going to start snowing now. Hopefully the summer is going to stick around. Yeah, it looks like it's still pretty warm. Oh, and his Messie is all grown up now. Oh, that didn't take long at all. And she is so huge compared to our other creatures, thanks to that lovely big body. So she should make for quite an intimidating presence once they do meet the rest of their tribe mates. Though I'm sure that just having Storm Sky around is probably going to soothe her mind quite a bit. I am kind of bummed that they do share an immunity gene, so their babies wouldn't be very healthy. And that's why I figure Storm Sky is going to be like more of a big brother figure to her. Somebody to help her get her bearings in this world, and somebody to help explain why so many of our creatures are essentially going to worship her, thanks to her lovely hammer tail. Now I suppose Melodine would probably notice the little Reezy first, since they are so similar in age. I feel like these two are going to get along quite well. So let's have them play together. Maybe they can sniff ahead just to see. Oh my gosh, there's a balance bear over here? Okay, good thing they were sniffing, I guess. Oh no, the balance bear is going to completely ruin our plans, isn't he? Do you think this is the same one that was over by our other tree? It seems awfully strange that he would cross the stream, unless maybe he was trying to chase after Jill and her family. Well, this is very, very worrying. We don't want to draw his attention. We want to see if we can sneak past him without him noticing. So Butterbee and Topaz better be on the move. Yeah, looks like this balance bear is actually a bit older, so it may have been trailing you two down after all. Hopefully it hasn't really caught your scent. It can smell 5 tiles away. Oh, that's not going to be far enough away for you guys to truly hold a safe meeting at the top of the mountain. Well, I suppose you might as well at least warn your tribe mates, because this is very important for them to know too. Poor Jill. This is literally what she feared, that the balance bear would just follow them no matter where they go. So maybe it's a good thing that she doesn't know that the balance bear is up by the stream right now. She would be worrying herself sick if she knew that her children could potentially be under attack. But let's have Nina scoot her way out of the nest, toddle down into the grasslands of summer, so she can maybe sniff around for some bigger roots to dig up on the next turn. Oh, looks like her father might actually be able to show her how it's done, and then maybe scoot on up here to hunt down some of the bunnies. They are absolutely relentless, but with more able bodies, we should be able to keep our food supplies safe. Oh, and look at this! It looks like one of your bunny guides has come up to say hello to Scotia. Though unfortunately for you, we are going to pick you up for the meat. We need to stockpile for the winter after all, and Fennec Chew knows that better than anyone. I'll bet she's kind of hoping that she'll get the chance to see just one last snowfall before she passes. She is getting very close to the end of her lifespan, but she knows that Taduke would have loved the snow too. He showed up on the island right as the snow stopped falling, so he knows what snow is, but he's never experienced a storm for himself. And maybe with the help of the babies, he can weasel his way into the hearts of our prince and our princess. Or I suppose it would be our king and our queen now. He can watch after the baby, do a little bit of babysitting just like Big Don, as Birch goes chasing after the bunnies, luring them right into Sydney's trap. And I believe it's just down to our two youngest ambassadors. Oh, and look at this, Meladine. You can show off your hunting skills to your brand new friend. And maybe Reezy could scoot over here, just to connect our pathways, so we know that Topaz and Butterby will be able to make their escape, just in case the balance bear does still come after them. Yeah, let's see if this balance bear is looking to munch on our creatures. Oh no, I think he's locked onto you, Butterby. Has he been after you this entire time? Oh, this is not good. So we need creatures with a strength higher than 2 to attack the balance bear. So unfortunately that means that creatures like Butterby wouldn't even make a dent. She and her brother have no business attacking the balance bear. They're going to have to leave that to stronger individuals, like Reezy and even like Messy. I guess this would be a good way to get on our tribe's good side, right? By distracting the balance bear so our weaker creatures can get away. I guess that kind of leaves this pathway completely blocked off though. If we're going to try to escape, they'll have to take the long way around if they want to get back to Gilandaria. So let's have our strongest to build a wall for them so they can slink away undetected. Maybe the balance bear won't be so interested in following if it notices this giant hammer tail. Yeah, we'll have Messy take the reins in the situation. Maybe she's more experienced since she's lived here all of her life. Topaz in particular, I'm sure would be quite impressed by Messy. We'll have him scoot on over here, maybe see if we can find some roots for him to dig up. Just anything? Oh my gosh, Ace. Again with the balance bear? The sneaky balance bear that you can't even see? Oh, I keep forgetting that he has terrible eyesight, so that leaves him super vulnerable when he's out on his own. Well, this is not good. Now we have 2 separate balance bears, and so close to your new babies too. Even the bunnies are terrified, cowering behind poor Petal. Well, I guess that means now might be a good chance for us to meet the babies in the nest. Our summer court is under attack, so you, little one, are going to be in a very serious situation soon. But at least she has the digging trunk again, so even if our summer court has to move, they should be able to collect plenty of food along the way. Now, the next name on my list is Nana, so welcome to the tribe, little one. And hopefully you will bring us good luck against all of the dangers to come. Well, let's make sure that we bring Ace back to his family. This was one of the reasons why Petal never wanted to let him out of her sight, but soon she's not going to have a choice, because she is on the very last of her days now. Just like her twin sister Fennec Chew on the other side of the island. So we'll keep all of her daughters very close to her side, so they can keep her safe overnight. And then we'll go meet the new sun to grace the ghosts of winter. Oh, it looks like we have another springtime baby. Look at that beautiful pink fur. Oh, and I love the color of his ram horns too. He almost looks like a little cherry blossom. He might actually be my favorite so far, just based on looks alone. Well, the next name on my list is Hero. So once again, welcome to our tribe. I'm sure your big brother Storm Sky will be very excited to meet you, as soon as they're done with their standoff in the north. I wonder if their parents are starting to get a little bit worried They haven't heard anything back from the mountaintops, but the bluebird is still circling right overhead. So they know that there is some sort of action going down. But I think we were going to have Topaz dig up some roots for his new friends. So let's scoot him on over here to dig up this one between the hot springs. Then maybe Butterbee can follow suit, so she'll be far away too. In fact, if we wrap her around the rocks, then I don't think the balance bear should be able to pick up her scent again. She'll be too far away, and he will be far too distracted, with all of these able-bodied warriors blocking his path. I just hope this is going to be enough to deter him so they can all sneak away undetected. It's not as though we have a healing fruit to spare. I almost feel like the hard mode challenge was even easier than this one. At least we had healing fruits on like literally every single corner of the grasslands, so even if a killer bear hyena did hit us, we didn't really have too much to worry about. But I suppose now would be a good time for you, Sydney, to consider having another baby. Since again, you are one of the very few with so many of our strong genetics, we want to make sure that we're breeding warriors right now. I do wish that we had maybe a friendly bear hyena to breed into our tribe. That would certainly make things easier if we had bear hyena genetics to spare. Then we would be able to do some serious damage on the balance bears. But since this is Fennec Chew's final day, maybe it would be a good idea to settle her down somewhere comfortable, off on the outskirts of the territory, but right next to Duke's side. I almost feel like Birch should be next to her too, since she was so close to her winter prince, and I know that Sydney would understand that he needs to be with his family now. We'll have Scotia guard the babies instead, sniffing around for more potential meals, though it seems as if most of the bunnies have skittered away. Probably due to all of the danger on the mountainside, of course, except for this foolish little bunny who landed a little bit too close to Melodine's claws. So we should just be down to you guys, who I'm sure have lost all of your berries in the commotion. Those bunnies are ruthless. Well, if Jill scoots over here, she can knock down all of those delicious acorns for you, and then you guys can get to work picking up more of the grass, because with less places to hide, the bunny should be much easier to hunt. And now the moment of truth. Let's see if this standoff with the balance bear is going to pay off for us, Messy. Well, it looks like it may have. The balance bear isn't pursuing us at least, but it might be sniffing after that meat, so I think it's finally time for us to pack up all of our belongings and get out of here. So the first summer meeting of the tribes was definitely a chaotic one, but it was one that gave them plenty of experience. Now they know what sort of dangers are waiting for them if they let themselves get too lenient in the warmer seasons. In fact, as they all part, I think they're going to promise to each other that next time it's time for them to meet, they will all be much stronger, and they'll be ready to take down the balance bears themselves. So I think Reezy is going to ask if Melodine might want to come back to the Court of Summer. We'll have them travel down the mountain this way together, making sure not to draw the attention of the other balance bear. Oh, I almost forgot about this one. Okay, you guys are going to have to request some help from Ace, I think. Thankfully, I'm sure he would hear his daughter coming, so if we scoot him right here, he should be able to carve some sort of path for them to take. Melodine herself can jump way over here behind the rock, so hopefully that'll be far enough away. Maybe the presence of the Doflamingo will be enough to distract the balance bear if they're lucky. Oh my goodness, Nana! How many bunnies are you hoarding over here? She must be pinning them down for her father, so he can scoop them up with his big claw when he gets back. Well, I know that our two little digging chunked babies are going to be very happy to meet their big sister. Nina probably doesn't remember her too well. Oh my gosh, Nina and Nana. Why am I just now realizing that those are perfect twin names? Well, something tells me that those two are going to be pretty much inseparable. They kind of look like they could be twins anyway. It looks like we have another crackerjaw baby in our Ghosts of Winter. So we should probably start bringing them down to this tree too, so they can gather up some more food for their family. She is super pretty though. She has the claw and she has the ram horns. So at least we have another creature who can keep our family safe from those vicious balance bears. The next name on my list is Knight. So welcome to our tribe. And we'll see if maybe we can teach you and your big brother hero how to crack open all of those shells. Unfortunately, Fennec Chu never did get the chance to see her snowfall again, but I suppose that's probably for the best. It would have made things much more difficult for our ambassadors to get back home otherwise. But the fortune of our winter ghosts means that we still have plenty more time for more babies. So let's shuffle these guys around until we can set Sydney up with yet another baby on one of her thrones. Then Scotia can happily guide her siblings back down to their homes too. Now, I think Butterbee might be a little bit more interested in staying with these creatures for a while. That would give her a chance to train up after all. She's probably a little bit embarrassed that she's so weak, that she wasn't able to defend herself from the balance bear, and she needed to call on these creatures to help. So she's probably hoping that the Ghosts of Winter can give her the experience that she's lacking. Topaz, on the other hand, as adventurous as he is, I don't think he'd be willing to leave behind his mother entirely. His poor mother and his sister, who are still trying desperately to rid their land of all of these bunnies. But they definitely can't do it alone, and if they do attract the attention of some unwanted predator, then there's no way they're going to be able to defend themselves. So I think Topaz is going to ask very kindly, very timidly, if his Messie wouldn't mind joining him there. She's so brave and valiant, and he knows that that big hammer tail of hers is going to be able to protect them from any dangers. So I don't think she'd be able to refuse. She is definitely going to miss her friend Stormsky, but she knows that she has a much bigger calling now, so let's bring them down to the stream, where it's hopefully going to be a much safer place for them to cross. No balance bears in sight, so no reason to worry. And with that, Stormsky can lead Butterbee all the way down to his family, as she digs up roots to offer them as a gift. Oh, that's a good way to get on their good side. Since nobody over here can actually dig up those roots, they are going to be very, very happy to have you around. So I'm sure you're going to fit in no time. Now I think we might be out of turns, so let's get ready to skip the day one last time, just to see if those balance bears are going to go after Melodine. Oh, it looks like they might be going after you, Ace. Yeah, we definitely can't leave all of that unattended meat. Oh my gosh. On the mountains. Oh, don't even tell me. Oh, speak of the devil. I think the Berryina has definitely caught a whiff of all of those delicious bunnies. Now your home isn't safe anymore, Jill. And your son and her new friend are just around the bend, too. Just across the stream. So you guys might have to make a break for it in the next episode. Including our summer court, too. You guys are having just as much trouble over here, but at least Big Don is coming by to make sure that all of the babies are safe. I wonder if he might even help us protect them. Oh, and just in time for the end of the episode, it looks like we finally have our brand new summer baby in our seasonal family of the mountains. She has such a gorgeous mask. And those muddy little feet, too. She looks like she might be a bit of a troublemaker to me. Now, the next name on my list is Emma. So welcome to our tribe, little one. And hopefully with all of your strength, combined with that of your siblings, too, you guys will be able to protect your family from the dangers of the mountains. Our Ghosts of Winter have been so lucky so far, but we're going to have to rush his Messie over to Topaz's family. There's no time to waste if we want to save them. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys!